Good morning, good afternoon, and in case I don't see you, good evening. This is your flexitarian friend, Jay Tanti. Today we are going to show you how to make an amazing crepe. Yes, I said crepe. They're actually crepe. So what we're gonna do is very simple. You need a blender, a good blender to begin with. Any blender will do, but I like this type of blender better. So we're gonna begin by putting the liquids first. So I'm gonna put approximately half a cup of water. Now, I'm gonna put like 1 cup of heavy cream. You can use half and half too, but I'm already making the half and half myself, okay? And now we're going to put as well 1 cup of flour, which I already messed up my flour thing. Yeah, that's me. I'm always do the disappearing act because that other one was for the flour and I ended up using that. Anyway, let's get back to it. So now we're gonna use all-purpose flour. I never done it with almond flour. I have no issues with flour, so I'm gonna add 1 cup of flour, and this might be a little too little, so I'm gonna do 1.5 cups because I want to make a few. Okay. Now we're going to use a 1/4 cup of organic cane sugar. By the way, my sugar in there, my flour is also a organic flour. So we got that out of the way. Now we are going to use, now you want to liquefy this, to tell you the truth. You want to liquefy the ghee, but sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit flexible, I'll use the ghee. Like my friend Early says, gee, your hair smells terrific. It's a joke, inside joke that we have. So anyway, so I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon, so that's a little generous tablespoon of ghee. In case you don't know what ghee is, I'm gonna use this for the pan. It's actually this wonderful clarified butter. It's organic and it's amazing. Okay, next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to add a couple of eggs, and these eggs are from my hens, so I have to use 3, but literally I only need 2, but I'm using 3 just because in case one has a chicken on the inside. Well, this one had no chicken, so it goes in, and then 2 beautiful golden chicken eggs. Okay, there's no other way. And so now what we do is we are going to blend it. That's how simple the recipe is. If you want to put a little pinch of salt, you can. And sometimes you have to add more liquid. That's why I don't measure anything. I just do. Ooh, it's looking good. But it's still a little bit heavy, so that's why I left the other half a cup of water, because I knew that I made too much. Do not overblend, otherwise it will become into whipping cream. So I'm gonna check on the consistency with the fork. Now this is still a little bit too thick, so I should have used just 1 cup of flour. So 1 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, but you do want it a little bit like this, running. So this is perfect. I'm not gonna add any more water. This is great. And because I like vanilla bean, I'm going to add a little pinch of vanilla bean, or not. It's up to you. So once I use the fork to make sure that all the flour was incorporated, I'm gonna give it 1 more blend. So I used half a cup, actually, I used half a cup of water first, and then I put 1 cup of heavy cream. Then I added 1.5 cups of flour. I use 1/4 cup of organic cane sugar, and then one big tablespoon, which is about 2 tablespoons of the ghee or butter. And I ended up using the other 1/2 cup after because I felt that it was a little bit too thick. Quick little blend. Now I feel comfortable with it. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to first preheat the pan. That is extremely important. So let's go right here. Okay, we're going to preheat the pan. For that, I have a 10-inch Gourmet Skillet. So I like to heat it up without the handles first. And I'll show you how to clean this pans, by the way, because it's very important. A lot of people are not using properly. Okay, preheat the pan to medium. That's key. If you don't preheat the pan to medium, it's going to stick. Especially, this is kind of like, remember, high for fry, but this is medium high. So not too high, not too low. And remember, I left a little bit of the butter on the spoon. That's because I'm going to put it in there to cook it properly. So preheat it just enough, like probably about 2-3 minutes, just enough so the butter will actually melt. That's key. You can use a little knife or paper towel or whatever. So now that my pan, I can feel it, it's already like hot to touch. I can add a little bit of the ghee so the ghee instantly melt. So I'm using medium heat. I like to do on the sides too, just in case I want to flip it over. And once you add the first bit of ghee the first time, sometimes it doesn't really necessarily need it. So that's my first ghee. So do this so you have butter all over the place. Then I bring the liquid so you can see how liquid it is. All right, so we're gonna add one little swirl. You don't want them too thick, you don't want them too thin. That though is up to you. So I usually like to go around and then I just wait and wait and wait. And you can use the turner or you can use this little spatula that is actually meant for crepes. So as soon as you see a little bit dry on the surface, that's when you want to begin to think about turning. So I like to add the handles now because sometimes if it's too thick, see this already dances really nice. But I'm gonna wait until it's completely dried on the surface. Now, you can put a lid on it, so if you wanted to put a lid on it so it dries faster, you can. There's another disappearing. I did a little yoga pose for you. Cover. I find that when I cover it, it actually takes a little bit less time. But I'm a little bit impatient, so I have to be looking. So don't do that because it actually adds more time to the cooking. So now, but I do it anyways, no matter what. So now, this is almost as beautiful as I like it. Let me see, let's try this. I've never done this before. Hey, look at that, crepe on the run. That was awesome. I never done it before, but it worked out perfect. So now what we do is just let it cook on the other side. In the meantime, I'm gonna do a commercial. So these are my apples from the tree. I cut them up into small little little quarters. And I did about 2 cups of the 2 apples, so it's about 2 cups. I put about a 1/4 cup of the maple syrup, and I put it in the pan, just the apple, just the syrup, a little bit of cinnamon. I put the lid on, I turn it to medium, and then when the valve clicked, which was 185 degrees Fahrenheit, I turned it down to low. Once the apples were cooked, so they release a lot of water. So what I did, I took the lid off and continued to cook it, so it will actually give me a little bit of a caramelized situation. So now I'm gonna turn it off just to show you. And so on the other side looks absolutely gorgeous. Whoa, 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 that's hot. So we're just gonna put it in here. Okay, we're gonna take some of the apple. And here is your beautiful crepe. And now, you're watching? You better. That's a gorgeous crepe right there. Now, if you wanted to, you can put a little bit of, dust a little bit of sugar, and usually the way that they do the sugar is they'll put the type of sugar that is like powdered sugar. You can actually dress it up with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. I got the cinnamon. Yeah, I got a lot of cinnamon. A little bit of cinnamon and whipped cream if you want to. But the thing is, by the time that you had all of the stuff in there, you already put too much. Okay, so we try it again. Another fork. I know, I could have the camera follow me around, but I didn't want to do that. So let's check it out, this gorgeous thing. Oh, it's gonna be hot. I know it's gonna be hot. But I'm gonna let you know how great it is. I might not be able to speak. Hot, hot, hot. Mmm. Divine. Absolutely divine. Nobody can make this. This is too amazing that I want to show you how gorgeous. Mmm. Absolutely beautiful. Mmm. Exceptional. So now you must make this at home. If you have Saladmaster, you can make it in minutes. You saw how long it took. It took more time for me to get a fork than to have this ready. So I'm gonna do one more. Now that I tasted the first one, I don't need to put butter. Not a lot of butter. So keep it at medium low. The key is I want to show you the consistency of the batter, just so you know it's thinner than pancake. So you can make several of these and then you can keep them in the fridge and then you can just eat them. This is just ridiculously amazing. You don't even have to put anything inside them because they're just so yummy, yummy for your tummy. So, so if you like, you can add a little bit more of the ghee, but if you don't have to, okay? I always like to put a little because I like buttery, right? But this is just like a tiny bit this time. So how do I know when it's time to pour the batter? When the butter or the ghee, it actually melts immediately. So we're gonna do one twirl. And I don't really fill it all the way. I expand it just by doing this. And then I put it there. And as I said before, you can cover it so it cooks a little bit faster or not. So if you prefer just to watch it, you can do that. But if you want it super fast, you can just wait. You can have your first one and then you can feed the family. This is incredibly amazing. I mean, I have to tell you, I haven't done this for a long time. And you know what? Making crepes is like riding a bicycle. Once you learn how to do it, you're always gonna be able to do it. Mmm. So good. So notice how I can use my little spatula here. I mean, it was a fluke that I actually flipped it because I did put a little bit of butter in the bottom. But don't expect it to flip each time. Lower it because I had it at medium high. And I don't want that. But in the meantime, just kind of let it be. Like I said, sometimes I get a little bit impatient and I want it to be done now, but you know, it takes patience. One of the biggest pillars in life is patience. So love patience. So let's see, come on. You have a little bit of patience. Okay, so you can do the deal if you like. Oh, this one didn't turn, but there it is. That's when you don't put enough fat. I guess I'm gonna cut this off. So it does happen. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you make these beautiful crepes at home and taste it. Your children will absolutely love it. If you have no children, your husband will love it. If you have no husband, your friends, your family, anybody will love it, including your dog and your chickens. Thank you for watching. This is your flexitarian friend, Jay Tanti. Until then, have a happy, healthy, and wealthy day. Ciao.